Hello? Okay, I want to get a couple of notes out of the way for you. First of all, to all of you I don't know, I'm sorry about that. I think you just didn't have my class or didn't play soccer for me, so we don't know each other, and I think we would have liked each other. But I mention this because I think my speech is going to be pretty well directed at just the kids I know, because that's the way I wanted to take it. Note number two, you know, and I'll talk about this in a moment, but I always want to be upfront with my kids, and if you've had my class, that has been the case as much as possible. And I just want to tell my boys, my soccer team, and all of you who supported us this year, that I am still incredibly sad that our season came to what felt like too early an end, and I miss you guys so much, and I'm not over it at all, but I will get over it. And so that's where I'm at. I love you too. Okay, so let's do this. Mr. Williamson, an hour ago, asked me to keep this pretty short, and so I'm going to choose to honor that request. I think he deserves it. I'll have more to say about that as well. So I've crossed out most of the first page of my speech. Here's the gist of it. You know, we got married in October, and it was awesome. And I was kind of stoked to hear my best man's toast of me, because if you've had my class, you know I love myself. Oh my God, I love myself. And so I was like, oh man, this is their moment to tell me everything I tell myself every day. This is gonna be great. And so my best man got up there, and it turned out he had made a video with like 11 of my other best friends, and it was really sweet, but in the end, they didn't mention the fact that I'm a teacher, that I love teaching, the fact that I'm a soccer coach and I love coaching, and they didn't mention my parenting at all, which I love. I absolutely love being a father, and that was really sobering to me. And so here's where my speech starts. That's the prelude. Here's the deal. My best man, in my mind, a little bit, he just didn't know me as well as I thought he did. And he had this chance to tell me exactly how he felt about me, and he was working on like 10-year-old information. Today's my day to tell you guys how I feel about you on this super important day. And I've been writing and rewriting this in my head for months. I really have. And maybe the biggest thing I've struggled with in this process was whether to mention specific students while I'm up here. I decided I can't do it. There's too many of you that mean as much to me as any students I've ever had. And there's tens, if not hundreds of you I will miss so dearly after today. And here's a big part of why that is. I think in many critical ways, you guys know me better than anyone else in the world, especially better than my dear but distant friends. I could be wrong, but I feel that you guys know my heart, and I know your hearts. My friends know all my stories, the nitty-gritty details of my life. They know about me, but you guys know me. We know each other, and I have been wondering how things ended up this way. I think it's because we have to spend so much time together, but we've also known for a while that this time would someday and today come to an end. Being forced to spend so much time together, I think that's made us deal with each other on our worst days and our best days and everything in between. And that has to be how you get a real sense of someone, who they really are when they can't hide. And then there's the idea that in most ways this relationship was always due to expire. Today. For me, that's always given my relationships with my students a sense of urgency. There's been the sense, especially in my most important classes, that if we don't have certain conversations now, they'll never happen. Something critical will be left undone. And we all needed to talk. This is why I've always shown Into the Wild to all my classes. You have to see that movie. And this is especially why I've always tried to be as honest as possible with my students. We never had time to push back the truth. It was never a consideration. So like I said, I really can't address individual students here. There's too many of you. All I can do above all is thank you guys. You allowed me to be honest with you in ways that, if you didn't understand me or whatever, would have surely gotten me in trouble 1,000 times over. And in turn, I always felt like you were extraordinarily honest with me. The result of this relationship in my mind was that almost from the start, we were able to cut through all the BS and see straight to each other's hearts. So that while we never knew too much about each other, we really did know each other. I felt this the most as I've walked the halls during passing period. I think a great many of you can relate to this. Think about when we'd see each other in the halls, or if I popped into one of your classes to talk to your teacher or print something. If you weren't in my class anymore, it might be the only time you saw me that month. So we'd have to take advantage of that moment. We'd have to hug, and I'd have to dance and scream and whatever. And I'd have to try to get you to laugh. And I always knew I could, and that you would. Those are the moments I wish my friends could see. That's when I feel like my truest and strongest self, with you guys making you laugh, and with my daughter, and with my team. Whether or not it's real, I've always felt like my best self comes out when I'm around kids. And you kids, this class, have made me feel that so strongly. You're an extraordinary class. Everyone has known that. As I've considered this speech, I've kept coming back to the realization that so many of you are just my straight-up friends. You're proper people who clearly care, the kind of people we need more than ever. I'm so proud to know you, and I thank you for bringing out the best in me and in each other. I really, really love you. Before I go, I got a couple notes, a couple more, 4 of them. Note number 1, and I mean this, I'm deeply thankful to this guy, your principal, Mr. Williamson, because I meant what I said earlier, right? I get away with all kinds of stuff, but I really don't feel like I'm getting away with anything. And I think this guy trusts me to do what I think is best for you guys. And that's why I'm up here, and that's why we feel what we feel for each other. If we didn't have an enlightened principal, it just wouldn't be possible. I'm really thankful to him. Note number 2, I've warned some of you about this, but I'm going to do it again. Know that your teachers will forget your names. I will forget your names. Some of you that I love immensely, I'll forget your names because there's just a sea of you every year. Sorry about that in advance. Number 3, do your best never to let anger guide your decision making. Find ways to forgive and do that for yourself. Number 4, and this is it. I just love you so much, and to think of Lincoln minus so many of your faces is still a little too much for me. So on Monday night, I'm going to go to bed pretending that we have practice on Tuesday afternoon, that I get to be with my boys again. And I'll pretend that on Tuesday morning, as I walk up the back stairwell to the 3rd floor to my room, as I open the hallway door and look up, there I'll see Colton Wicker and Nick Baker waiting for me by my door, my bodyguards ready as ever to protect me and to make me laugh. And I'll complain about how tired I am, and I'll say something terrible to make you laugh. And down the hall, I'll see Kathy Mraz, ready for a hug, promising me tacos. And Alex Montalvo stops by for a manly handshake and a chat about his hip flexor and the team. And then I open my door, and to the left there is quiet Q Horton, his soft eyes down, scribbling in his notebook. He's in the same old seat where I hope he found some peace, if not quiet. I love you all so much. Be good. I love you.